going to produce ore at the rate at which refineries can handle the ore, or it's pointless. So I think, my opinion, and obviously I could be wrong about this, but is that it's really not about the lithium ore. Lithium is extremely common. Lithium is everywhere. In every country's got lithium. It's not like oil. So lithium is one of the most common elements on Earth. But taking the lithium ore and refining it to battery grade is extremely difficult because the purity levels required for a battery are extremely high. If you have even a small impurity, then you will degrade the life of the cell dramatically. So you need ultra-pure battery grade lithium, and that's why our focus is on refining as opposed to mining. Thank you.
Hi, Elon. Thanks. It's a great time here. You spoke about safety in your presentation of the vehicles, and I just want to say I'm thankful to you for building such a safe vehicle because I'm here today with my son. We drove in his Tesla 3 over here that he replaced with the one that he got rear-ended significantly in, and it destroyed the car. But we're able to be here today, so
Great.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So, not sure where to look. There? Okay.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Austin Gregory. I'll ask about this because I don't think it gets near enough love. But I was wondering if there are any updates on the next-gen Roadster, actually. Yeah, I know it's sort of like the cherry on top and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot on your plate, if you've said before. But if there's any updates on like the release timeline, all that stuff, the SpaceX package, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Thanks.
Totally fair and reasonable question. Where is that thing? We expect to complete the engineering and design of the next-gen Tesla Roadster this year, and hopefully start production. This is not a commitment, but hopefully start production next year. So, but. It is like as you alluded to. It's not even the icing on the cake. It's the cherry on the icing on the cake. So I wouldn't expect it to be like. It's definitely not going to be a huge contributor to revenue. It will be a modest contributor to profitability, but it will be sick. So, and. There's some value to me running two companies because the next-gen Roadster will have the SpaceX option package. So that'll make it truly next level. So.
Hey, Elon. Eva McMillan here. First of all, I want to thank you for making the absolute best, safest, and most fun cars in the whole world. Cars in Florida, we are seeing many, many more cars in Florida than a year ago.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, cars are doubled. So the question is, we all want Tesla insurance.
Oh,
is it coming?
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a great question. Okay, Zach says it's coming later this year. But I have to tell you, one of the thorniest things in the United States is car insurance, or insurance in general, because it's a state by state, and every state's got different rules and regulations. So that's why it's not rolled out nationwide. I think really there should be one national standard for insurance, especially car insurance. I think it would improve the cost effectiveness of car insurance. But our intent is to roll out nationwide and ultimately internationally. But there is a staggering amount of paperwork that is needed to get it done. But as Zach said, we expect to offer Tesla insurance in Florida later this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Elon. Thank you, Elon. Alexandra Mertz. I am Tesla Boomer Mama. Very happy to be here.
All right.
So very grateful to the Tesla team and you, of course. Just want you to know we love the emotions every day, joy and less joy, but we're there. Shareholders, it's not easy. We're here not because it's easy, but because it's hard. So my question initially was on in-house financing. You already answered that, and I want to congratulate you to the double investment grade rating. But then I asked my Twitter subscribers, I'm sure you're going to appreciate, what they wanted to bring forward.
Sure.
And that question made the cut. Here we go. Automotive, including SAS, peak margin, the same for energy. What number and by when do you have the best Elon guess that we get there?
So I'm not sure I fully understand the question.
So this is the peak margin for automobile,
Oh, yeah.
including SAS and energy, and by when will we get there? Your guess. I know nobody will sue you.
Sorry, what's SAS?
Well, software as a service.
Oh, okay. You mean self-driving?
FSD,
Yeah.
what's going to be the top automobile margin? And
Yeah. I mean, what I was saying earlier is that at the point at which you have a truly autonomous vehicle that can drive around with no one in it, the utility of the vehicle, I think, as a rough guess, is probably 5 times what it is today, because people will drive an average of an hour and a half a day, perhaps, so 10 hours a week. But if the car is autonomous, it can probably, just speculation, but it probably can operate for a third of the hours in the week, which would mean 50 or more hours, thus a 5-fold increase. But the car costs the same.
Sure, I understand, but what is going to be the margin for Tesla then? Because you're obviously thinking you're going to sell much more FSD then, right? You may have a system in place of robotaxis. You may have a cut with fleets. So did you do any projections what the automotive peak margin for Tesla could be in 2 years, 5 years, and the same for energy?
Well, I mean, this is definitely, we're in sort of highly speculative territory here. But obviously, if you've got a car that costs the same and has, say, I don't know, a 20 or 25% margin, and suddenly is able to be used 5 times as much, then you might have 80% margins, and the revenue would increase several-fold. That's why I say it's probably going to be the biggest asset value step change in history of Earth. Yeah. And energy does not have simply does not have such an increase in asset utilization. So I would expect energy to remain at sort of a 25%-ish to 30% margin.
All right, so you said ask the tough questions. You're still good, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. First of all, though, as a family man, I just want to say there's a couple of things like a loop for tether of a car seat going through the headrest, which would be super helpful. There's a couple other things that would be really nice. The Model Y is the only one you can do that in today. Maybe we could fix that. But when we're thinking about 4680 battery cells, should we be thinking about the efficiency and the performance we're getting today? Or is there some updated timeline path that we could see closer to battery day presented efficiency, performance that we can look to in the future?
Well, I think, first of all, it's really important to express the difficulty of, for Tesla to go from nothing to making a battery cell that we aspire to be better than any other battery cell on Earth, even when compared to companies where the only thing they do is make a battery cell, is obviously not a trivial exercise. That said, we do see a path to very high energy density and higher energy density and lower costs than anything else out there. But it's a hard path. It's a very hard path. Normally it would be absurd for companies to attempt such a thing. And no other car company is really attempting to do anything like this in a serious way. So I guess technically BYD, because they started out as a battery company, but yeah, so it's a very difficult thing to do. But I think we are tracking to success in that regard. So.
Hey, Elon, first of all, thank you for undoubtedly making the world a better place for my son to live in.
Thank you. It's kind of you say.
Once Cybertruck is fully ramped in Austin, what is the target production? And also, there's some rumors that you're thinking about stepping down as CEO. Please say it ain't so.
It ain't so. So yeah. Yeah. So I think Tesla's going to play an important role in AI and AGI, and I think I need to oversee that to make sure it's good. So, because that's a thorny problem if there ever was one. You know, like I think generally people do not, or very few people, even in the AI community, do not. Appreciate just how much capability Tesla has in AI. It's by far the most advanced real-world AI. There's no one even close. Reality has the most degrees of freedom. So I got to make sure that's good. So, and you were saying something?
Cybertruck fully ramps
Oh,
here in
yeah.
Austin.
Yeah.
Target production.
So, as I said, you know, we'll start production later this year. We'll start handing over cars later this year. There will be an S-curve of production, so it'll be slow at first, and then ramping up. And I guess we'll see what the demand is like. So, I mean, I think we're likely to do probably 250,000 a year. I think, maybe more. Again, very much dependent on what the demand is like, and it's you know, we don't just need to ramp up production, but we also need to improve the production cost efficiency, which is going to be also a very, very hard thing. So, but I'd say it's, you know, 250,000 a year is a reasonable guess, and it might be 500,000. I don't know, but we'll make as many as people want and can afford, but then, like I said, it's going to be hard to make the cost affordable because it is a new car, new manufacturing method. So, in the grand scheme of things, relative to the production rate of all the other cars we make, it will be small, but still very cool. Yeah, thanks.
Elon, maybe 3 more questions?
Sure.
Oh, thank you. Good day, Mr. Musk. Hello, my name is Delia Archer, and this question aims to address Tesla's efforts in developing skilled workforce, attracting diverse talent, and promoting career opportunities within the company. When I look around, I see a lot of young faces, and I think about internships and apprenticeships for students in high school and beyond. My question is, are there any plans to expand existing partnerships and explore new avenues for collaborations with educational institutions and nonprofit organizations to attract the next generation and vary career pathways?
Yeah, actually, with all of our gigafactories, we work with the local schools, actually from the high school level, community college, and university, because it's incredibly important to foster the talent for the factories. As you saw from the employment numbers, we actually need a lot of people. Even though we've got a lot of automation, we still need a lot of people to operate the factories, and it really matters that they have the right training. So we're big believers in reaching out to educational institutions, and because frankly, it's in our interest to do so. Thank you for asking the question. All right.
Elon, Josh Fuller. I had originally thought of asking about the fun police and pushing back on the boombox and allowing us to screech at people with goats again. But after seeing Optimus, I was inspired to ask, has anybody asked Optimus's opinion of Mars, and does he have a ticket yet?
Well, you know, Optimus is not a deep thinker at this point. Optimus is still, you know, figuring out how to do basic stuff. it couldn't make, cook some eggs or something quite yet. So we need to get Optimus to the point where it has reasonable agility and can do basic things. And we're aiming for it to start off doing simple tasks that are sort of boring and repetitive or dangerous, basically jobs people don't want to do. So that's our goal, and I'm confident we'll achieve that goal. And then we've got to figure out how to make it at scale, make sure that the robot is safe. I think it's going to be very important to have a local means of turning it off. So safety is going to be extremely important. I can't emphasize that enough. But right now, it is not at an intelligence level where it's pondering questions like Mars. But perhaps it will be one day. So.
Hi, good afternoon, Elon. My name is Luke Arsenault. I just want to start off by saying a big thank you to you and the team of Tesla for all you guys do. It's been great to see, and I'm so happy for you guys. My question is, with the rise in cybersecurity threats to operational technology and Internet of Things, what steps is Tesla taking to protect the company itself and its products from these threats? Also, as a suggestion, because I know you like suggestions, for the navigation, do you think we could do something on the UI that adds in when you're about to take the off-ramp to show a picture of that exit, kind of like other map systems do? And then also...
Oh man, this is a lot of questions.
One of my friends wanted to get a shaka from you, if that's possible.
Okay. Well, we are constantly improving the navigation system, and being robust to hacking is incredibly important. In fact, we conduct a lot of sort of third-party hacking contests to try to get the best hackers in the world to break into our cars. And actually, no one has yet actually broken into a Tesla in a way that would allow you to really control the car in a significant way. But they have gotten to where they can like honk the horn and mess with the infotainment system. And I'd like to thank them for their efforts. So we take information security extremely seriously. For navigation, yeah, there's definitely things we can improve there. But really, down the road, navigation visuals are not going to matter very much because the car is going to take you wherever you want to go. As for pictures, I have to decline, unfortunately, because otherwise, if I say, I actually hate being rude to people. So if I say yes to one person, then it's like selfies for a zillion. It gets kind of crazy. So, but thanks for asking. Maybe we'll take one or two more questions, actually. So, sure. I don't know.
Okay, is your...
Sorry. Hello. I had a question on the efficiency. I don't know if you've been paying attention to Aptera, and I was curious if you thought that was a space that you could see Tesla getting into, as far as not just an efficient manufacturing process, but also the actual car itself and range. Or just buy.
I'm not super familiar with them, but we have a lot of we have a lot of products to get done. It's not like it's never a shortage of ideas. Ideas, frankly, I find ideas to be somewhat trivial, but the execution of the idea is extremely difficult. And as I said, like prototypes are easy, production is hard. Production and cash flow positive is excruciating pain that you like at a level you cannot believe. So it's not product ideas; they're irrelevant. That's what I think of them. It's sort of like the idea of going to the moon. That's not that's irrelevant. Getting to the moon is the hard part. So, okay. So maybe one last question. Yeah.
Elon, John Lopez from Orlando here. I've got two things for you real quick. The first one is with rideshare being a growing thing, especially with Tesla owners, are we going to get a guest mode option available for that? The second thing is as an X-Blade owner, I would really love to get track mode.
As a what, sorry?
X-Plaid.
Well, Plaid has track mode.
The Model X Plaid does not, though.
Oh, Model X. Yeah, we can probably add that, sure. Yeah, no problem. So, rideshare is, a bunch of these things will really not be relevant in a self-driving world. You can summon the car and take you somewhere, and if you want to add someone to that ride, you can if you want to. But overwhelmingly, it is about achieving self-driving, full self-driving. And you know, I think we're really getting to the final stages of full self-driving where, I mean, I drove for several days around Austin, just dropping pins in random locations, and had 0 safety interventions. So it's really, and even in the city of San Francisco, which is very complex, I haven't had a safety intervention in a long time. So I think it's getting to the point where, you know, admittedly, I have been optimistic about this in the past, but I think this time. All right, I won't say it. All right, fair enough. All right. Okay, I think it'll happen, you know. So, all right, you want one last question? Sure.
So first, congratulations on your decision to try advertising. We all want Tesla to pass
Oh,
Apple in market cap.
I didn't realize people wanted it that much. Okay.
It's good that a lot of people agree. So earlier this year, you cut prices on everything, 15, 20%. More recently, you've been raising prices on Model Y, Model S, Model X. And can you just talk about the pricing strategy on Model Y going forward and keep it separate from the decision to bring out the next-gen vehicles that we all agree